Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna have to stop the project a little early. I'm gonna move on to something else. However, I think I have a pretty good idea of what I can recommend and what I can say I will not return to using or purchasing. Let's run through it. Everything here, the Wild Zora, the Ona, the Simple Squares, and the Epic bars and the Granilla bar, those were lovely. They were easy on the palate. They were moist. This I didn't care too much for the RX bar, but it's well done. All the products that I reviewed are actually very well done and put together. But there were some that fell short that didn't inspire newbies into health to keep going as to keep using them to stay with it. Now I do have the Cliff Bars here. I was going to review them, but I think enough people have reviewed them. They're pretty popular. They're pretty widely available as a the standard healthy alternative, and they're all good. So we know where that stands. But for people that want to do a little bit better in terms of the sugar and the carbs and the salt and the other ingredients, we're going to go ahead and look at these. So so basically, these three, the exo bars, which are the cricket protein, the cricket flour, the yacht bars, and the RX bars, I will not be purchasing again. The Yap was just the most difficult of all. This was I commend the company for trying, but this was hardcore. You have to already have been established in health to appreciate the simplicity and the lack of excitement that this Yap bar brings. It's it's knocking all the categories down. It's very simple and everything, and it for the paleo diet, for people who are only looking to put nuts and seeds, no grain. This is where it's at. But the problem is, it's just it does not taste good to me. It's just very dry. It's very it resembles cardboard, and that's unfortunate. But there's a market out there for somebody that wants that simplicity. So this I won't be going with. Exobar had a bad reaction. My digestive system could not get used to this, and I know it was this because it was the only thing that day that I had that was a change in my diet. I think that day all I had was like bananas, water, and some I don't know, bacon and eggs or something. And actually, when I confirmed it was after it passed, and you can tell, you can tell. It wasn't very pleasant, but it wasn't painful or anything. But I just didn't like my bodily reaction. I don't know whether there was something wrong with that particular sample, but anyway, I won't be going back to that because of that reaction. There was nothing wrong with the taste of the flavor. It's there. I just didn't like my reaction to it. I don't want to have to get used to something like that physically. The RX bar, I can't remember exactly what the issue was with the other flavor, but I did not. Oh, it was kind of like chewy. It was very chewy. They did an alright job. It's not a bad bar. I just think it got beat out by the other options on the table. The granola bar is good. Out of the ones left, these are the ones I'd recommend. If you went back to purchasing something as a staple and you wanted to buy, instead of a sampler like I had, if you wanted to go with something that had that you wanted to focus on one and buy a big box of one, get a discount or something, maybe they're offering from each individual company. This would probably be the last on the list to get. It's very good, but it got beat out by some other by the rest of these. But there's nothing wrong with this. This would be the granola bar here is a good. Let me try and help it out. The granola bar is a good option. Is a good option if you find it. So congrats there. These are the jerkies here. Hopefully it'll focus. All right. These are the jerkies that the Epic bars and the Wild Zora. Awesome, awesome, awesome products. This was amazing. The Wild Zora. The Epic bars were also very good. My wife didn't care for the Epic bars, but the Wild Zora, oh man, they really did it a good job. It captured all the flavor. It wasn't difficult to chew. It comes down to honestly, and the same thing with the Epic bars. These were very well done. The flavors, everything that was infused into them is very good, very good. So it comes down to the statistics on the back. What do you because the flavors are you can't go wrong with these jerky type products here that are on the table. It just comes down to which one, price, shelf life, those things that are unrelated to actually testing the product in terms of flavor and, moving towards the healthier options out there. You cannot go wrong. In the jerky category, I would have no problem buying either the Epic or the Wild Zora company or brand of jerkies and bars. But yeah, awesome. The very win. Now these, when I first tasted the Ona bar, these are more like the fruit and nut seed category power bar type stuff. But anyway, for those that remember power bars. Okay, so these, when I first had these Ona bars, I was like, oh, there's nothing that can beat that. Nothing that can beat that. This is amazing stuff. It tastes great. It's moist. It's easy to chew. It's flavorful. You don't feel guilty. It's for beginners. This is a good transition. This is like these are two extreme opposites of the spectrum. Put it that way. Ona is like, hey, you want to stop eating Snickers bars, and you want to try something other than Cliff bars. Step it up. Get to the Ona bar and make your way in there. There's some sweetness. The honey's in there or whatever. In the other flavor, there's honey. I don't know about this one. I haven't had it yet, but they won me over. The Yacht bar is for those people that are hardcore and got there already and decided, you know what, they don't care about flavor. Flavor is for, wimps. Let's just go. And texture is for wimps as well, because texture was rough. Anyway, enough about Yacht. Ona gets it right. There's nothing wrong. I mean, it's like perfect. Yeah, put it that way. It's perfect. And then I had the simple squares. And it's the same thing almost. If you blindfolded me, let me not exaggerate. I guess you could tell the difference. When you're tasting these, you would be able to tell the difference, but they're so similar. It's like they were copying each other. So whoever developed it first probably should deserve the credit, but they taste awfully the same. This one is a little bit less, this one falls apart a lot easier. You can even feel it in the bag. It's not as tightly bound. This one is solid as a rock. You can knock it all over, but this one is like, oh, be careful if you want it, you don't like crumbs. Don't put me in the bottom of your backpack. But the flavor is just outstanding. And it comes down to which one has the flavors that you would like best. And again, the statistics on the back, nutrients and what have you, and of course, pricing. So and shelf life. So those things. But these two are equal, just like the the jerkies. All right. So essentially, this is what I would go with. These are not necessarily these flavors, but these four companies, these four offerings, are basically what will make it in my my pantry, in small amounts because it's best to eat fresh food. But when you want something in your bag, these four, and I would even say the granola bar for people that are even a step ahead, that don't need as much flavor. And, I can't say that, not flavor, but it is a step above. These are definitely have a lot more oomph. And then this is like, okay, I'm over my diet that used to rely on a lot of sugar and these things. You could step it up to here and then, turn into extremist with a yap bar. Ooh, it's rough. I can't even talk about yap anymore. Congratulations to yap. They're going to have their niche, super freak athlete, uh, you know, that hasn't had a Coke or, a slice of cheesecake in, 25 years or something. But these guys here, for beginners, go with this. Good choice. Cheers, everybody, and stay healthy.